Hello and welcome to Opinions Plus. I'm going to try to get through this one. It's taken me 3 times with one thing or another. But what's going on in the mores and the background of the Christian community? I said before I was brought up in a Christian ethos. But my biggest concern about Christianity is not Christ. Christ, my presentation for those, because I speak to everybody, I'm not speaking to just Christians. Because Christ, in my simple view, spoke to 2 main issues. One is Agape, as I've said 1,000 times. Respect others. We're all sons and daughters of God. 2, service leadership, or leadership with service as the primary goal. Not leadership to rule, but giving of oneself, selflessness. Simple. I don't have to go into much theology to come up with that. But men do. Men have always done it. From the beginning, when Christianity first started, read the church history, you'll see all kinds of variances. People went to war. You know, it's been one of the biggest criticisms of Christian thinking is it leads to war. Well, most religions lead to war. Not because of the religion, but because the way people interpret the religion to support their ego, their pride. And what does it turn into? It turns into violence, harm. Always does. It's been centuries and centuries of evidence to show that. Well, I don't know how to exactly segue into this, but there was this conference, this Christian conference, how to make men stronger. Christian men stronger, I guess, since it's Christian sponsored. And in the beginning, they had a sword swallower, and he took his shirt off and he swallowed some swords, and he climbed up this pole and he climbed down the pole. And one of the pastors this was the introduction to the seminar, to make it or conference, to make it a big deal, I guess, fireworks and something cool. Well, he didn't like that. He came up, and after the performance, and there's nothing wrong with sword swallowing, I don't think. I mean, I don't know how people do it, but they do it. I've heard some stories about it. But he said, it's the Jezebel factor and all these things. It's immoral. It leads men. He talked about because there was a pole and the guy climbed up the pole and the guy took his shirt off, that's what strippers do. And, the organizer of the conference asked him to leave the stage because, he was diminishing the conference in total. But the audience bought into it. They agreed in most, as far as the applause was concerned. But to me, it's not what this pastor said or the organizer said but it's the change of creating an atmosphere that men have to be a stereotypical thing. This ability to swallow swords, and the previous year, just to add to that painting, that context, Chuck Norris, instead of sword swallowers, they had Chuck Norris come in on a tank, an actual tank in the auditorium with, automatic weapons and helmet and all this. And the tank ran over 4 or 5 cars in the middle of the auditorium and flares going off and shooting. This is men. This is the idea of what a man is. Is that Christian? What it does is glorify war. It doesn't glorify humility. It doesn't glorify acceptance. It glorifies power. And that's wrong. I didn't see much of the thing. This was just the intro. Now, when I saw the clip, the people were just kind of making fun of it all. I don't make fun of that. It's not funny to me. Because our institutions, the people that are leading us, things that are going on, are being corrupted. They're not looking at agape. They're not looking at selfless leadership. What are they looking at? They're looking at domination and the utilization of power. I think people understand that, but it erodes your mind looking at it, thinking about it, trying to understand it. You're sitting there paying good money, because I'm pretty sure it's not free. Not if you can have Chuck Norris come in with a tank and roll over 5 cars, all that to be paid for. In an auditorium, which must be huge to accommodate all that, plus the seating of all the people. So that's a big deal. There's big money. Money talks. Money, 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 money. And I'm concerned about the way the community of Christ is going. And I'm also concerned, as I've said before, where the leadership is going. They're not talking about these things. They're not hitting the medium. All you see is Trump trial or whatever, but you don't see what's going on with the leadership of the Christian community or the Muslim community or whatever. You see the war, you see the anger, you see the horrid situation around the world. Some of it based on religion. Most of the underpinnings of that is greed, is power. I want my way. It's not agape. It's not belief. And Christ, as many other believers, and Buddha, all believed in generosity and giving, although it's corrupted. It's corrupted. By what? By men. Men change these things. And whatever it is, I don't know. I don't know how it's done. I don't know where the thinking comes from. But there's nothing new about it. But it's here. And that's my concern. It's here today, right in our faces, in many levels, in many ways. Anger, terrible anger, from these Christians who, the turn the other cheek thing doesn't seem to resonate. Well, I've done that too many times, or whatever the thinking is. And turn the other cheek doesn't mean ignoring evil. That doesn't mean you just walk away from the evil one or the evil thing. No, you have to face that. You have to confront that. But your insult to you, the insult to an individual, should not be compounded by your pride. It is what it is. Injustice is injustice and needs to be taken care of. It needs to have a counterweight of justice. Injustice needs to be weighed against justice. Accountability. There's no, simple way about it. And that's why you have leaders to discern, to be able to understand. It's not just up to you and me and whoever. We need guidance. We need guidance. And this Christians make men stronger thing just as an example of what's happening. There's a myriad of examples out there. But this is one that's happening. And we have to be aware, whether you're Christian or not. These impacts are there. Going to the good, simple, just like Agape, simple. One way. But you don't have to accept criminals or criminal activity or disrespect. You don't have to accept arrogance and, just people bellowing just to bellow, and you think that that's good. Use your heart, use your mind, use your critical thinking skills, use your value, your character, what you are. Is there an answer? I don't have one. All I can say is we have to continue to push forward on ideas that accelerate the view of character and value and integrity in all aspects of our lives, whether in church, whether in conferences or not. And I'm going to do another clip on this. Why do we need this strongman thing with motorcycles and tanks and things, as if that makes a man a man? Used to be you smoked cigarettes, the Marlboro Man, you became a man, but now you don't smoke cigarettes, or some don't. It's reduced quite a bit. But anyway, something to think about. Be aware. These are changes in our society that have been going on a long time. My little clip doesn't change it, but I hope to enhance the awareness of some of these issues that are corrupting a social good. Not everything in the past was good. You don't go back, chuck this conservative stuff, chuck this liberal stuff, progressive stuff, chuck it all. Don't label it. It's not labelable. Goodness, virtue, honor, those labels keep. Why? Because it makes society better. That's what we're after, aren't we? Thanks for listening. Have a good day. If you like what you hear, subscribe and hit the like button. Comment. Comment not for me. Comment for everybody that may read that. You don't know what effect you may have. You just don't. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. Bye for now.